Hi, my name is Josephine Prather, and this is my informative speech about how food service operates inside a correctional facility. Inmates are fed a fully balanced 2,500 calorie diet every single day. In Texas alone, that is more than 135,000 inmates fed a day, making more for making for more than 337,500,500 calories of food consumed in just one single day. Like the rest of the public, they want to have healthy, hearty, and safe meals while also being light on the wallet. As a food service correctional officer that has worked in over 5 different units, I have first-hand knowledge of what goes on into a typical TDCJ prison kitchen. Today, I will talk about what you will see on an inmate's plate, where does the food come from, and safety measures to ensure the food is safe to eat. So, what exactly is on an inmate's plate? Meal plans are made by TDCJ headquarters. They are made to fulfill all food pyramid slots while providing nutrients and vitamins and calories required for a human being to survive and function. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner all have different plates makeup depending on the time of day and the holiday. For breakfast, inmates are always given at least one main, and that main could either be a carb or a protein. Now, whether it was a carb or protein, they are also for sure giving additional carb and at least one fruit. Example of main options on a breakfast plate are scrambled eggs, fried eggs, pancakes, a breakfast burrito, a breakfast pizza, French toast, or, on very special occasions, a cinnamon roll. And then, along with that, even if it was pancakes, they're going to get another carb, and that can either be biscuits, or toast, or oatmeal, or a 1.5 ounce box of TCJ brand name cornflakes or bran flakes. And for breakfast, the fruit is either prunes, raisins, applesauce, peaches, or pears. Lunch and dinner look very similar to each other. The lunch is usually a better meal because more officers are there to make it. They will always receive a protein, unlike breakfast, and they will always, on lunch, receive 2 vegetables, while on dinner is only required to have 1. And they will also always be served legumes or beans. And lastly, they will be served a carbohydrate. The proteins look a lot like our plates, chicken, pork, cow, and fish. Vegetables, they get farm fresh and seasoned, locally grown produce. For example, green beans, corn, carrots, a cauliflower blend that's with the aforementioned vegetables, spinach, sweet potatoes, or white potatoes. Along with the legume, they could either be black beans, pinto beans, baked beans, or great northern beans. Then for the carb, it is either sliced bread, wheat or white, or cornbread, which could also be pan bread, with the exception of sometimes they can get tortillas or crackers. So now that you know what you will find on your plate, if you were ever incarcerated, you might ask yourself, where does all this food come from? We have cow farms, pig farms, and chicken farms at multiple different prisons in Texas. All are ran and operated by inmates that are monitored by special livestock officers. We even grow and provide all the food that is needed for these animals. For the pigs in particular, there's trash cans called slop barrels in each and every chow hall that the inmate dumped the food that they didn't eat on their tray into. The barrel is then dumped inside of a large trailer that has a spout at the bottom. Every week, this trailer is picked up by an inmate who is monitored by another driver, and they drive it to a pig farm, the nearest one, and they open up that spout and where all the food is released into the trough for the pigs to eat. All the vegetables and beans are grown, collected, canned, and bagged by TDCJ inmates' facilities. The best of the produce is fed to the vendors, while the more undesirable products are either grinded into food for the chickens and cows or fed straight directly to the pigs. Now, let's discuss how all this food is handled safely inside the kitchen, along with making sure the kitchen themselves are safe for food handling. Prison kitchens go through daily, weekly, and monthly audits. They go through monthly pest control services and are highly monitored by trained officers to make sure everything is being done in accordance with policy. Daily audits are performed by correctional staff. Weekly audits are performed by food service managers. Lastly, monthly audits are performed by audit officials that are sent from the HQ at TDCJ. The daily audits consist of checking that each fridge is cold enough to prevent any bacteria growth. They check that the temperature of the food is cooked to well-done temperature to prevent foodborne illness. They make sure the offenders' cooks are washing their hands and wearing proper safety equipment to prevent any contaminated product. They carefully sign out the sensitive, dangerous equipment, such as knives and pointy thermometers, and monitor them to ensure the inmates don't do anything to compromise security. Along with simple environmental checks, make sure that the inmate isn't along with simple environmental checks to ensure that the kitchen isn't full of any kind of contraband or any broken equipment that could pose a safety risk. Weekly audits are performed by the correctional managers within the kitchen. They ensure that the paperwork that is marked by the correctional officers that were mentioned are correct and in order, along with going over everything that they went over to make sure it is all correct. Monthly audits, much like the weekly audits, are very similar. An audit official will come down and make sure that the paperwork is correct, that the kitchen is neat and clean, and that the kitchen is serving what they should be. Pest control is performed monthly by the unit's risk management officer. They bring in a third-party vendor to come and spray for roaches and bugs. Sadly, many prisons are old and built on untreated land that is in a field that is a prime target for bugs and mice and rats. The plumbing and foundation of these old prisons are very fragile, and like they say, where there's water, there's going to be pests. TCJ tries to cut costs wherever they can, so of course, maintenance can't fix any of these plumbings or cracks, thus making the battle with rats and roaches a hard one. In conclusion, so you can see, TCJ runs a highly organized and heavily monitored agriculture and livestock operation to provide food for its over 100 units in Texas. Each of these kitchens using the food provided to make hot, fresh meals for anywhere from 1,000 to 4,000 inmates. The meals follow what we call a balanced food pyramid. They are checked by multiple different officers and officials from different departments to make sure there is no corruption for the checks and balances. And the food is harvested fresh and efficiently from TDCJ farms. The meal consists of all the daily proteins, vegetables, and carbohydrates a fully grown man or woman could need. It is cooked and handled by inmates who are monitored and made to take all safety precautions, all while being produced at free labor costs so that taxpayers aren't having to pay it out of pocket to feed the people that we put away for doing society wrong. All in all, this is just a small glimpse of what goes into one of the most hidden and private places in Texas. Thank you.